Chinese communists that are so pro, let's make a community. They murdered him. The State Department of the UK tried to intercede. China warned them, stay out of our business. And they gave him a lethal injection, and now he's dead. Folks, nothing's changed. Nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is that this old group of people that do not like freedom, called the Chinese, you can call them communists if you want. That's just one of those Hegelian dialectic labels. But I like to call them Chinese against freedom, just like senators and presidents against freedom are trying to get you convinced that China is a new and much nicer group of people. It's not true, is it? Okay, before I get into the last thing I'm going to try and cover, and if we don't get done, is going to be reading this the military coup article. Okay. But let me get back to I'm going to go back to something I missed. It's community stuff. It's about the ground crews. Alaska has a ground crew, and here's what they're saying. We have land on the Kahnawha Peninsula. We have building materials, livestock, and etc. We are looking for either a single or couple ready to move in and help full-time on the facilities. We are trying to set up a functioning farm on the location. If you're interested, please post a comment. I'm going to have that link for you to get to. Here's another one. Northern Georgia seeking others. Honest, intelligent, loyal, low profile, cautious, and discreet. Good to excellent physical condition. Please contact me. They're wanting to start. Okay, I'll get that one up. And another one is Maine is overlooked for a number of reasons and may end up being one of the ideal places for a retreat. Few people or roads in the northwest section and far from any targets in urban areas. We've had a discussion with somebody that's one of the ground crew people about Maine, and I personally don't know about this. I would consider, in fact, I did consider Maine, and then I just have a hard time dragging my feet east of the Mississippi River. Okay. This says that this group has 20 to 25, it says you'll have use of 20 to 25 acres in a lightly populated western mountains of Maine near Quebec and New Hampshire. There's a huge wilderness lake at the bottom, and they are surrounded by acres of paper land which is open for public use. So that's going to be published. Okay, that's my final update for the communities and ground crew. Okay, let's go back here to something I think you're going to be interested in, and then we're going to get into a reading here. There's a 2012 Planet X info site, and they just, as of the 17th, you might not have seen this, they just published something, put something on it, says, We've long known about biblical text references to the planet X, but recently there's been some new things discovered. These are thanks are dedicated to the Torah code researchers in New York and in Jerusalem, which have been working on this project. The early results from this new body of work are stunning in their implications. as they portend a catastrophic nuclear war and Planet X flyby. The Torah Cord research is a 21st century Bible code game changer because it employs technology far more powerful than was what was available in the older Bible code software. Simply put, this technology is different. Difference between Bible code research technology and the Torah Cord research is dramatic and has this new finding here. And so I will post this up. And guess what? It's 2013 on this one. Interesting, huh? Okay, so I'm going to post that one. So we've got that. U.S. Military Coup d'etat 2012. This is written by a fellow by the name of Doug McIntosh. And I'm going to read this to you. We're going to talk about this now for the next half hour. If we've got any questions on the as I read this on the forum, please let me know. By the way, we did have a question, and I'm not sure who asked it, but does the Ukraine flu have a name? Well, it's still H1N1, but I'd have to say it's changed. These two subclaves that are on the virus that have changed, the D225 sites on the H1N1 have changed significantly, haven't they? I would think, technically it's still H1N1, but we have to remember, as we've always said, what if H1N1 had originally come out this deadly? Then we would have just assumed that this kind of flu is good. Okay. Let me read this. I think the possibility of a military coup d'etat in the United States is the highest as it's ever been in our history. The reasons for that are legion. We are simply at a point in our history where the U.S. may very well decide to take over running the country. The reason they are going to do this is not to save the American Republic. It died October 2008 with the Wall Streets and the bailout. It is basically to save the territorial integrity and the lives of the American people. In other words, this author is saying that with the information he has, there is going to be a military coup, and it's not because they're going to try and save the U.S. Constitution. They're basically saying that's so deroded and so messed up now, all we're going to try and do is keep people from getting, from dying and protect the borders and the property that Americans have. The U.S. military may very well decide they need to assume direct control. The reasons for any potential U.S. military coup is simple. If the military thinks they can do a better job, there will be a coup. Okay. Apparently, he says these are being discussed right now. And in an analysis of the current situation in the United States, let's see here. In the United States, I lost my place. My thing just jumped, and I lost my place. Okay, here we go. Provides a clear explanation of any potential military coup. The first rule of a military coup is if rarely happens unless the civilians are mucked up so badly that the military is required to intervene. In other words, usually military will not involve themselves unless the civilians can't get it under control. Historically, in other countries like third world countries that I shouldn't say third world, second world countries that I've been in Eastern Europe, the military people are actually overthrowing the central government that are finally gotten so abusive. Usually military leaders see